Terry here has just one goal in life: to launch himself into space using a car. Problem is, he doesn't have a car or a driver's license, but he's not going to let these minor inconveniences get in his way. You see, in the town of Sprankelwater, anything goes. Stealing cars, climbing on top of buildings, doing crime. I'm sure Terry will put that imagination to good use and find his way to space in no time. So Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip comes out tomorrow, and instead of making a formal review, I wanted to show you all some of the funny things you can do in the game, some little secrets and Easter eggs, that sort of thing, to give you a sense of what playing it is like. Your main goal is to collect turbo junk in order to upgrade your car and ride it into space. One day. We're gonna need to find some more junk first. Good thing there are a variety of people to talk to and activities to participate in that can lead to you literally digging up a treasure trove of the stuff. Crush the local children in a game of orange soccer. Catch a variety of bugs and use them to invent a whole new type of cuisine. Relax and do some yoga at the pool after a long day. If you're into shopping, maybe visit the hat store, the junk store, or the pet store. Rumor has it there's some blueprints floating around for some rare gummy pup companions that you may or may not be able to equip all at once and run your very own gummy pup gang. Or head down to the beach and check on your old pal, Burned Bernie, who clearly isn't in denial about his sunburn. Oh Bernie, what are we gonna do with you? I mentioned earlier that you can steal cars. It's perfectly okay here, so long as you make sure there isn't a person sitting in it. As is assault and battery. You can even get an achievement for hitting a concerning amount of people with a pipe. They all seem to brush it off just fine. And moving around in the game is simply a fun time, whether you're walking, bouncing on umbrellas, gliding off cliffs, and especially when you're turbo boosting around town. You can even find these ramp shortcuts scattered about to help you more quickly travel to the upper levels. So as we leave Terry here to run around like Naruto, I want to let you in on a couple secrets that can be found in the game. Here are some little crabs having a dance party, a jamboree, a social gathering with music. For such a silly and cartoony game, Terry's Turbo Trip actually gives us a very realistic look into the inner workings of your typical local government. They all seem to be in a panic, and as we later uncover, it's because they're in a huge amount of debt that even adding 3 zeros to the end of every number in their bank accounts doesn't seem to fix. So they're calling on the citizens to repay the debt for them so they don't look bad in front of the neighboring towns. If you're familiar with the developer's previous game, Wuppo, then you'll be happy to see that Terry has his very own copy of it up in his room. He's clearly got wonderful taste. This is a great game, by the way. It's sort of a Metroidvania, not really, adventure platformer, quite the bizarre journey. And somehow Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip manages to take this art style and vibe and convert it into 3D, still keeping all the charm and silly shenanigans packed in there. What else? We've got some great mud mechanics. When Terry gets dirty, he'll leave muddy footprints behind him until it all washes off. And there's a lot of mud in Sprankelwater. The town actually uses it as its main energy source, somehow. And perhaps the game's biggest mystery, one that even I haven't solved yet, is the Great Stone Mushroom. After poking around here for a bit, you'll discover a lonely wind chime. Reattach it and you'll realize there are still 3 missing. I wonder what'll happen when I find them all. I'll keep you all posted, I guess. If you ever get stuck in the game, no worries. Just call up your Uncle Grony and he's sure to point you in the right direction. You're gonna want to make sure you have a notepad or something out when he tells you his number though, so you don't forget it. You can also buy hints at the laundromat, although I really have no idea what this is supposed to be hinting at. How to make yourself feel nauseous? And can we just take a moment to appreciate these camera angles? Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip has these bizarre fixed camera angles whenever you enter a building, which makes the game just feel that much more off-kilter. I happen to be a sucker for these types of things, which is why I recently made an entire video dedicated to fixed cam games. How convenient that I can just link it right here. That's pretty much everything I have to say about the game. It's short and sweet and really lets you explore off the beaten path, and it's got a great sense of humor. Let me know if you try it out when it releases, and go check out that video I mentioned.